This chapter is easily one of the greatest chapters of the past years, and it starts with Shaki, who's been kidnapped. The one that is responsible is Wang Ji, also known as Ochoku. It seems he is the traitor of the Rocks Pirates. Later, he became the ruler of Hachinosu before being overthrown by Blackbeard. Teach already took partial revenge for his dad. There were also theories that Ochoku is Caribou's father, and if we look at their faces, it makes a lot of sense. I wonder what'll happen if either Teach or Caribou learn about that. Will Blackbeard kill Caribou too? Or maybe Caribou will decide to betray his idol for killing his father. I'm sure his storyline will play a big role in the future. Then, we see the others around the world learning about Shaki being taken. It's kind of similar to Ginny being taken and Dragon and the others learning of her kidnapping. Figarland Garling is a real villain. He is way worse than the regular celestial dragons, and he also seems more heartless than the Gorosei, even though he's a terrible person. I have no doubt that at the end of One Piece, he'll be mentioned among the best villains in the whole anime. Just in this chapter alone, he encountered the mother of his kids, and I don't even know what could be a worse scenario for her. She was waiting for him and asked him to stay with his family after waiting for 2 years, but Garling told her that he's trying to win the tournament for another woman while stabbing her. He's able to portray himself as a good person and later immediately switch back to his true self, that of a murderous psychopath. Then it's revealed that the current worst criminal in the world, Monkey D. Dragon, was also at God Valley, but as a marine and a rookie one. Even from the start, he was not like other marines. He had a caring heart. What's interesting to me is that he looked a lot like Luffy in his Gear 4 form. It's shown that he was using a weapon at that time, and it was already mentioned by Oda some chapters ago. Kuma asked him how he knew to use weapons, and that's when he mentioned that he learned it in the Navy. At 17, Dragon was a marine at God Valley, and at 17, Luffy was a pirate at Marineford. Both at some of the biggest wars in One Piece history. Both saw dark times and realized how weak they had been, and both got far stronger after these moments. Another interesting detail about Dragon is that he has the same tattoo on his arm and on his face. If he already had it at that time, then it's probably not connected to his devil fruit or his revolutionary ideals. Can it be somehow connected to D or the Monkey Clan? We're getting more and more mysteries about the most mysterious character in One Piece. We also saw the final meeting of the two best friends, Rox and Harold. Rox revealed that his true name is Davy D. Xebec. He is from God Valley and his family is also on that island. This encounter looked a lot like Roger and Whitebeard's final meeting. In both situations, the characters were drinking, and Roger also revealed his true name to Whitebeard. God Valley has shifted from Rox being seen as a power-hungry villain to a man protecting his family, especially his son Teach, the last of the Davy D bloodline. On the other hand, Roger loses aura points every chapter. It seems Roger got involved in this arc because of Shaki, and in the end he teamed up with Garp to take down a man who was freeing the slaves and was just trying to save his family. Xebec abandoned his ambitions to protect his family in the spur of the moment. That's what he treasured more than the world. Finally, a decent father in One Piece who wanted to change the world, challenged Imu, was a fearless and free pirate while loving his family. Only 6 chapters in, and Rox D. Xebec is already one of the greatest One Piece characters of all time. Even though Rox thought that the world government made a mistake, I think it's the opposite. The entire event on God Valley was intended to lure Xebec into a trap and kill him there. That's why all the Holy Knights and Saturn, possibly other Gorosei too, were there. Garling found out about Teach and they wanted to use him to lure Xebec. And it all makes sense. The Davy family lived back 800 years ago and is somehow connected to Imu, which is why Garling also thought Imu would be happy about it. Imu still had PTSD over Joy Boy. Imu tried to get rid of the Davy D bloodline and get rid of the Nika fruit. It's also possible that Joy Boy was a buccaneer, had the Nika fruit, and was also from the Davy D bloodline. Maybe he was Davy D Jones himself. That would explain why Imu was trying to erase everything connected to Joy Boy. This entire event was only organized so that Xebec would fall into the trap. That's why Kong asked Garp for help when he heard that Roger was also coming to the island. They were ready for the Rocks Pirates, but with Roger's pirates, the mission could end dangerously. In the end, God Valley was staged to kill Xebec and wipe out the Davy family. Xebec was from the start the biggest enemy for the world government. At the same time, Oda is making us feel sad for Blackbeard, and it kinda works. Teach was a slave, his mother was brutally killed by celestial dragons, and his father was betrayed by everyone and ultimately killed. He has every right right to be a villain and not to trust anyone and act the way he does. Every warlord carries a massive identity. Bartholomew Kuma is a buccaneer, Moria is a Kozuki, Blackbeard is from the Davy D bloodline, Don Quixote do Flamingo is a former celestial dragon, and I am convinced Dracule Mihawk's past will also be massive. Don't be surprised if he's connected to Emu. Even though Luffy and Loki are becoming friends, Blackbeard and Loki have more similarities. Both of them endured difficult childhoods, both gained a devil fruit through murder, both devoted themselves to the darkness. Blackbeard is Xebec's son, and Loki wanted to join him. Loki fought Shanks, and Blackbeard will most likely fight him in the future as well. Another big prize was Kuma, a buccaneer, and now it makes sense why Saturn was so focused on Kuma. The only question is how Kuma escaped from the chains. Oda cut off that scene. I assume we're gonna see the continued version in the next chapters. One option is that Big Mom might have wanted to get him, so she saved him for Saturn, and the second option is, of course, Dragon. Before we continue talking about Dragon, I want to mention that there were not 6 treasure boxes with devil fruits. In the current chapter, we clearly see that there are 9. I do hope Oda will reveal all of them during this flashback. Also, write down in the comments if you want to see a video predicting these devil fruits. In the final panel, we see Dragon, who finds Shanks, Shamrock, and their mom, and we also see Teach with an afro who looks a lot like Brook and Kuzan. Maybe, after saving Shanks and putting him in a treasure box, Dragon ate his devil fruit, and that's how he got his powerful devil fruit. In that case, everything would make perfect sense. How a rookie marine became so powerful in the end. I love how everything is connected in One Piece, like in real life. Dragon saved Shanks, and after 26 years, Shanks saved Luffy. Like Luffy, Shanks is also a child of destiny. He is Figarland Garling's son. He was saved by Monkey D. Dragon, and he was raised by Gold D. Roger. I wanted to say that a character like him can't be weak, but we have Buggy, who most likely was Xebec's son and was raised by Roger as well. Maybe the real reason why Shanks went to Fuchsia Village was to thank Dragon, but instead he met his son Luffy. Shanks could not have known about Luffy being Dragon's son at that time, as the only person who knew it was Kuma, who found it out accidentally. Later, Dragon told Kuma that a child is a father's biggest weakness, and it was not just his own experience. He saw everything perfectly with his own eyes at God Valley, as it seems Davy D. Xebec died protecting his son. In the panel of 12 most important characters of the final war, Dragon is surrounded by people he has interacted with. Luffy, his son, Shamrock and Shanks, whom he saved in God Valley, Sakazuki, his possible partner in the Navy, and Emu, possibly through a past or future interaction. With Shamrock back at Marijoa, while Dragon might be attacking it, the reunion is going to be epic. Now, of course, this is speculation, but I still want to talk about this idea. Is there a chance that Shamrock could betray the Holy Knights and side with Dragon? I feel that his story will parallel Sanji in a way. Being born with special capabilities for the advantage of his father, he ends up resenting it. If the Figarlands were the traitors of the D-Clan, maybe twins being born into the prophecy put a crazy spin on it, and both Shanks and Shamrock are fated to be traitors. Some people had their suspicions about Shamrock since the moment the other God Knights had to beg him to go to Marijoa. He seems kind of bored and uninterested. He doesn't care about his rank or if he becomes a Gorosei one day, unlike his father, Garling, who was always motivated to serve the world government and make Emu happy. Write what you think about this idea down in the comments, and if you want to know more about Shamrock and the Holy Knights in general, click this video right here. Thanks for watching. Bye.